classroom. I am Mrs. Lausin, and I will be your teacher this year. I am so excited to meet you. So I'm going to give you a little look around the room and then we'll talk. Boys and girls, I just want to talk to you for a few seconds and introduce myself. So my name is Mrs. Lausin, and I am actually new to North Elementary, just like you are. So I have been a third grade teacher for several years. That's the only grade I've ever taught, even though I have substituted in other grades. And so I'm so excited to be teaching a new grade this year. But I have to be honest and tell you, I'm a little scared too. So if you're feeling nervous or just a little bit scared about coming to kindergarten, I know how you feel, and we will get through this together. Now, it's important that you know that I am not wearing a mask right now because you are not here in the building, and I want to speak clearly to you. But on the first day of school, I will be wearing a mask. And sometimes when I'm teaching from a distance from you, I will be wearing a shield. And I'm going to show you what both of those are going to look like later. I wanted to just tell you a little bit about myself. I am married to Mr. Lausin. We've been married for 23 years. And I don't have a picture of him on my desk, and so I'm going to need to do that. But I'm sure my daughter, who is my videographer, will probably insert a picture of us in this video. But I want to show you, I have 4 children. So they're all growing up. They're all teenagers now. My oldest son, Ben, is going to be a sophomore at The Ohio State University. He's studying animal science he kind of wants to be a vet or obviously work in some way with animals. And he has the privilege of being in the Ohio State Marching Band. My daughter Susie, right here, who happens to be the one videoing, will be a senior at Madison High School this year. And just like in this picture, it shows you that last year she was the drum major in the marching band. And if they were allowed to have a marching band this year, she would have been the drum major there as well. She plays the flute and the piano, and she's a beautiful singer. Elizabeth, this one right here holding the trumpet, will be a sophomore at Madison High School, and she just made the varsity cheerleading squad. So she's super excited for the fun that she will have as a cheerleader this year. And our baby of the family is Timothy right here, and he will be in 8th grade this year. No longer a baby, but he is the youngest, and he's playing on the football team. And he also plays in the band. So definitely we have a musical family. Now I cannot wait to learn more about you and your families through this year together. So boys and girls, sometimes when I'm teaching from a distance and I'm teaching you letters and sounds and you have to see my mouth, this is what I will be wearing. Then other times I will slip on my mask. This is one of many masks that I own, so I'm not sure which one I will have. I'll change them out. And this is what I would look like if I slipped on my mask and still had on my shield. Now, sometimes I will remove my shield and you will just see me in a mask. I also have a mask at home. I'm sorry I forgot it for the video. And it has a clear square or rectangle here where I'm still masked, but you can see through like a plastic shield my mouth. So you'll see me wear that as well. All right, kindergartners, this is called the lunch choice board. And when you come in every morning, you will have a little card that has a piece of magnet on the back, and it will have your name on it. And you will come over and tell me what you're doing for lunch. I will teach you how to do the lunch board choice on day 1. Now, before you get concerned and think that you have to sit in your chair at the table all day long, I'm happy to tell you that we are allowed to do some flexible seating throughout the day. So you'll see here in these black baskets, as well on the other side in some white baskets, are things called scoop chairs. Now, you can tell Mrs. Lausin could not fit in this scoop chair, but kindergartners can. And they're kind of fun because they're comfy and you can rock in them. So you could sit in one of these when it's a time that I tell you that it's time for flexible seating, and you could look at a book, or later I will show you where we have clipboards, one for every kindergartner because we can't share things this year. And you could use a clipboard and do a coloring page or a lesson that we would be doing together. So this is an example of how we would use the scoop chairs. You can see that they're separated far apart for social distancing. And then another thing we have are sit-upon cushions and lap desks. And so we have enough for every student to get to either sit at a lap desk or sit in a scoop chair. And then we'll use disinfectant cleaners where we can clean them after every use. Also over here in this part of our room are supply drawers. So on the first day of school, we will take all of the supplies that you bring in that you don't need right away at your seat, and you will get your own drawer. So anybody in a Wednesday, Friday class, you will have white drawers, and anyone in a Tuesday, Thursday class gets black. And that's kind of how things are organized in the room. Wednesday, Friday class gets yellow supplies and white supplies, and Tuesday, Thursday get blue and black. It'll help all of us to have everything the same like that. So when you come in on the first day, if you're Wednesday, Friday, your name will be on a white drawer, and if you're Tuesday, Thursday, your name will be on a black one. And that way, if your glue stick suddenly isn't working or runs out, or your pencil breaks, you can tell an adult in the room, and we will come over and help you open your drawer and get your own supplies out, since we're not sharing supplies this year. All right, in this section of our classroom are the clipboards that I spoke of. So the Wednesday, Friday class, every student will have their own white clipboard to use with the lap desks or the scoop rockers, or if we were to go outside and have a lesson outside. And the Tuesday, Thursday students will get a black clipboard. Also, throughout the classroom on this side of the room and the other side of the room, every student gets a white bucket. And inside that white bucket, Andrew, I'm using yours again as an example, hope you don't mind, is a take-home folder and a bucket of crayons. It will also have your glue stick and pencil. And these are organized by Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, so that when students are coming to get their supplies, they're not standing right next to anyone. Just part of that social distancing and keeping us safe. And lastly, this is also a note for the parents. In that take-home folder, yellow for Wednesday, Friday, blue for Tuesday, Thursday, you would want to put any notes that you write for me or for the office in that folder. That's going to be a form of communication for us, as well as email and the Remind app if you choose to sign up for that. But notes for the office have to be in that folder because myself or Miss Tracy, our classroom assistant, will go through each folder every morning to get those notes to the office. Also, the lunch money. It needs to be in an envelope or a baggie with your child's first and last name on it. All right, well, boys and girls, I'm going to take a break from talking to you, and it's time for me to talk to mom and dad or grandma and grandpa or whatever adult is in your home that takes care of you. So just as I connected with your kindergarten parents or grandparents, I also want to connect with you. I understand the anxiety and the fear and just the emotion that goes into sending your sweet 5-year-old to school. As I said earlier, I have 4 children of my own, and I remember all of the emotions that I went through as I put them on the bus for the first day all 4 years that I sent a kindergartner. Now, here's the difference. I have never sent a kindergartner during a pandemic. And so I have to say, I am truly sorry for the additional anxiety and stress that you are going through. So I want you to know, I'm here for you. We need to be a team, and we need to communicate as frequently as possible. So here's what I'm committing to you. I will be checking email several times a day. I am offering you to join my Remind app. That comes through my computer at school, my computer at home, as well as my phone. It acts as a cell phone for a teacher, meaning I don't have to give you my personal cell phone number, but by you joining my Remind app, we can text and communicate as if I gave you my number. And that's nice in times of, emergencies or stressors where you just can't get through to me any other way. Use the Remind app. I will also use that to push out announcements or reminders to everybody. But the beauty of it is you can reply to me and it doesn't go to all the other parents, because we all know what that's like when we're put into some huge group text, right? The other way that we can communicate and that I can get you information is through Google Classroom. Now, I understand that's going to be new for a lot of you. So I am going to be sending you through email your child's login code. And it's really important that you log in through the child's account. Because what happened last year when I was teaching 3rd grade and we suddenly shut down, parents were logging in and joining my Google Classroom, and then they became my students. And it just got really confusing. So please make sure that you log in as your child, and then once you're in, you can view the Google Classroom and assist them in seeing things that I post. And that will become critical. That's how we're going to be doing homework, is through Google Classroom, and it'll be really important if we were to suddenly shut down and need to go remote, as happened last year. And lastly, I just wanted to mention I'm going to be sending you a Google form where you can tell me what your child is planning to do about breakfast. So here's the situation. On the first day of school, if I were to say, kindergartners, tell me who is buying breakfast, they would all raise their hand. Who doesn't want to eat breakfast, right? So I need to know from you if your child is planning to eat breakfast at school, or if you say to me, we're not planning on it, but if it were to happen, I will communicate with you in this way. Tell me, I'll shoot you a text through Remind, or I'll send you an email, or I'll write a note and put it in the take-home folder. Because the breakfast for kindergartners will be delivered to the room. They're not going to the cafeteria. So we have to have a count in the morning as soon as they get here how many breakfasts are coming down to the room. So I hope you'll help me out with that. All right, kindergartners, before I sign off for today, we are going to walk through what the first day of school will look like. You will walk in the door carrying your book bag, and we're going to walk right over here to our tables. There will be other teachers and adults that will help you, but you need to find your name tag. If you don't know what your name looks like, we will help you find your seat. All right, so again, hope Andrew doesn't mind that he is the sample student again, but I am pretending that this is where Andrew's going to sit. So he would come, find his name, which would be right here for him, And we will already have your box of supplies out for the first day. You don't have to go find those. And there will also be a paper here for you to start coloring. You will just take your book bag and set it right here beside your chair. Now I'm hoping to figure out some kind of a little hook that you can set it on so that it doesn't keep falling down. But this is the plan right now for everybody to keep their stuff right by them. Inside your bucket, of course, will be your take-home folder and a little bucket of crayons. They won't be your personal crayons, and there won't be all the colors. Just a few to get you started, and you will just start coloring your picture. Later, after everybody gets seated, then Mrs. Lausin and Miss Tracy, our kindergarten aide, and other teachers and adults in the building that are available to help that day, we will be unpacking your book bag and teaching you where every item goes. Let me tell you, I am so excited to meet you, and we are going to make this a memorable year.